Good evening, everyone. What you're looking at right there is almost the center of the city. It is Shabbat here in Jerusalem. Look at that shot right there. Cindy Lou, the brilliant hands behind this camera, is composing. Cindy, you're a good composer. Well done. Hello, everyone. Good evening. This is George Thomas. Coming to you on this social media platform. It is Friday evening in Jerusalem, and there are a few cars on the street, but not like a Friday evening in any other Western country, which would be jam-packed, teeming with people. There ain't a lot of people out here. Why? Because this is one of the most blessed, holiest days of the week here in Israel. It is Shabbat, and the popular saying here is Shabbat Shalom. This whole idea of may you have a peaceful rest. By goodness, do we here at CBN News need some rest? It has been non-stop. I mean, I just got in a few days ago, but Cindy Lou, Chris Mitchell, Julie Stahl, John Waggy, Jonathan Goff, all our awesome guys have been working non-stop every day since the horrific attacks back on October 7th. I'm coming on here to give you a piece of updated information regarding a historic church in the northern part of Gaza City. It was an Greek Orthodox church that about 7 days ago sustained some major damage, especially the annex and the office area of the church. And the initial reporting was that the Israeli Defense Forces targeted specifically back then we were not quite sure, but folks who have reported on Islamic terrorism have reported on the situation here in Israel, along with the Gaza Strip and the West Bank area, are quite familiar with some of the tactics that are deployed by Hamas and other jihadist groups. I reached out to the IDF this evening to ask them specifically in this church attack, which according to the Gaza's Ministry of Health said about 18 Gazan Christians lost their lives in that missile strike. And I reached out to the IDF to get comment. Did they specifically target the church? And they responded to me here at CBN News with the following. They said the IDF can unequivocally state that the church was not the target of the strike. They went on to say that IDF fighter jets targeted the command and control center in the Zaytun area belonging to a Hamas terrorist involved in the launching of rockets and mortars toward Israel. The command and control center was used to carry out attacks against Israel and contained infrastructure belonging to the Hamas terrorist organization. Look, I have seen this when reporting in the Middle East, when reporting from Iraq, Syria, at the height of ISIS, at the height of Al-Qaeda in Afghanistan, at the height of Al-Qaeda in ISIS and other terror groups in ISIS, Boko Haram in Africa, Al-Shabaab in Somalia, you name it. They are notorious. It is their playbook. They are notorious of using churches, mosques, schools, nurseries, hospitals, civilian apartment buildings. I've seen it in all of my reporting. It's a common tactic, which makes it very, very difficult for the nation that's involved, or the military force that's involved in the operation, to try and mitigate, try to limit as much as possible civilian casualty. Unfortunately, the reporting is that about 18 Gazan Christians lost their lives as a result of this strike on the adjacent building to the church. As a result of the strike, there was obviously an explosion. The IDF, in fact, gave me, I think it's drone video, black and white drone video, highlighting where the church was and then highlighting their target, this reported Hamas location. And you see the ensuing attack and the ensuing explosion. and clearly you can see some damage sustained to the church. This is the reality of what it's like today, trying to operate within the Gaza theater. And people ask, why is Israel taking such a long time to go into the Gaza Strip? It's been what? What's today's date?
21.
21, okay? It was back on October 7th. Why is it taking such a long time? I'll tell you why. Because of this very reason. When you have command and control centers under hospitals, when you have major intelligence and military operations being conducted from mosques, you don't want to destroy the mosque. You don't want to destroy the church. You don't want to destroy civilian buildings. In fact, the IDF, in this particular response from the IDF, they said they sent letters to the area, get out of this area. Can you imagine what country today in the 21st century sends out, actually, I was in Gaza in 2014. They're reporting while the war was happening, while the missiles from Israel was coming, targeting the Gaza Strip. I was there, and I went to the downtown area of Gaza and talked to people, Gazans, and they told me, you know what? We got calls directly on our phones, both our house phone as well as our cell phone. We got calls from the IDF. And they were saying, they were IDF soldiers saying, and they knew the names of the residents of the apartment, and they would say, please get out. In an hour, 2 hours, we are going to hit your building. Please get out. If they don't listen to that, they drop thousands of leaflets in the vicinity and in that area of the target, telling them to get out. And then the other thing they do, a third thing they do, is that they drop these small little bombs on the top of the building. It doesn't destroy the building, it just shakes the building. And it's not a good feeling. What other country today in the 21st century will deploy these measures in order to mitigate the casualties, those civilians, innocent men, women, and children caught in the crossfire? We see this, I have seen this time and time and time again. It does not mean that the Gazans today are suffering. They are suffering immensely. You see the images of children and elderly men, women, and children who are suffering as a result of this. Not because of Israel, but because of Hamas. They continue to use their civilians and put them in these locations that are strategic for their military strategy. And as a result, sadly, innocent people get caught in the crossfire. It's a horrific, horrible way to operate in a military theater. And it's very, very unfortunate. I hope you'll continue to watch our Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, as well as YouTube channels. My colleagues, Chris Mitchell, Julie, Chuck Holton, myself, and other producers are continuing to provide content all throughout the day. I mean, we're supposed to be in Shabbat mode. I'm not supposed to be working. Cindy Lou should not be holding this camera. She should not be holding it. But she is. Why? Because we want to bring you the latest of what's going on here today. And please do this. Pray for Israel. Pray for Gazans. Pray for the West Bank. And while you're at it, share this material with others so that we can continue to get the word out. And if you feel like supporting us, it takes a lot of money and resources here to do what we're doing here at CBN News. Will you consider contributing to the work of CBN News so that we can continue to bring you on the ground reporting? This is George Thomas from a beautiful Friday evening where it is Shabbat Shalom to you. God bless you.